Hey everybody, welcome back. Okay, so my jam is just starting to be at a rolling boil. So what I'm going to start to do is add my sugar in with my other hand. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to add it in. You want to get it to a rolling boil and then start to add your sugar in here and stir it all in. I don't like to add it all at one time. I like to add a little bit at a time and make sure that it's all dissolved. So I add maybe a cup at a time. Get it all dissolved in there because once the sugar is all done, you want to keep this at a rolling boil for 4 minutes, okay? So I did add the water. I've never added water to blueberry jam before, so I guess that's just what this pectin calls for. I've never done it this way before, so we shall see. I still have another 2 containers of blueberries that I can make more jam with. So we'll see how this one comes out, and I'll probably make that second batch later on this evening because I have some corn that I want to can, and then I'm going to cook down the cobs and make some corn cob jelly. So I'm not sure if I'll actually get to that today. I also have some lemon curd to make, and I have some masks to make, so I'm going to be busy. Very, very busy. I'm going to go ahead and put most of this in here. There's a little bit left. Remember, this is 6 cups of sugar. Somebody asked me if you can substitute coconut sugars or different sugars for white sugar, because I don't use white sugar. I'm sure that you can. You can get Sure-Gel, the low sugar pectin, or you can get the premium pectin, which is Pomona pectin, is what I use. If you want a no sugar recipe, no sugar at all. Pomona is really good. It's a little bit pricey, but it's worth it. And if you don't want a bunch of sugar in your jam, when I usually make my jam, it usually comes out tasting like fruit. It doesn't taste like sugary sweet. And normally it calls for 7 to 9 cups of sugar. And this one only calls for 6 cups. And it's the same amount of blueberries. So I'm kind of hoping that this tastes even more fruity. I've made blueberry lemon jam before. I've made blueberry blackberry jam, blueberry raspberry jam, and I've also made a triple berry with blueberries, strawberries, and either raspberries or blackberries. Yes, you can mix your fruit, and it comes out really good. If you're new to canning or making jam, experiment. Once you get your first couple batches under your belt, experiment with your berries and just use the amount of fruit that the recipe calls for. Add the right amount of sugar that the recipe calls for. I usually use the recipe for blackberry raspberry jam if I use strawberry, blackberry raspberry. I usually use the recipe for the blackberry raspberry jams on the pectin box. That always seems to come out better when I'm doing a triple berry. Some pectin boxes do have triple berry recipes on them, but it comes out really good, especially like the blackberry raspberry. You could do boysenberry if you have boysenberries that you can get in your area. We are going to do something different pretty soon. We're going to make probably a cherry jelly. I think it sounds pretty good. I've never even had it, but I've heard that it's really good, and I've had requests for it. So I've had requests locally here, so I'm going to be making that pretty soon. So got my vinegar and my water. Don't forget that vinegar in your canner all the time. The vinegar helps with hard water deposits. You won't get those spots on your jar, in your jars. If you live in a place like me, sometimes the vinegar doesn't even help. Once or twice a year, they clean out the pipes. They let the water drain into the street. I guess because we're so close to the beach, they do something with the pipes and the hydrants and everything, and the water here is just very, very hard. No matter what you do, it just, sometimes the jars come out so cloudy I don't even can during that time. It's just horrific. And of course it comes off with vinegar, but it takes a while. So, okay, so I'm gonna turn this up just a little bit. I want to get this to a rolling boil and then put it on the timer for 4 minutes. Come on, blueberries. Yeah, this is not as thick as I'd like it to be. There's lots of pieces, which is good. I thought I made it thicker, but that water just made all the difference. So I'm really gonna see how this comes out before I make my second batch. I might use a different recipe for that one. We'll see. It looks and smells really good, but it's just thinner. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see. Yeah, you can see that. It's thinner than I'd like. I mean, there's lots of good chunks in there, but it's a little bit thinner than I'd like. Almost like a jelly. Usually my jams don't come out like that. They're nice and thick. So I'm kind of wondering. But we'll see. We'll do it by the book first, and then I'll kind of tweak it after that. Okay, let's see. Come on. Come up to boil. So this always takes a while to get it up to a boil. Jams are usually pretty quick. If you could try my lemon or orange curd recipe, that one takes a while. You're going to be standing there for a good half an hour because you have to have it on a low heat when you stir it. And you constantly stir it. It has to be on a low heat though, otherwise you will curdle your curd. You don't want to do that. I hope you guys are all having a good Monday out there. Those of us in the U.S. are home for Memorial Day, where we pay tribute to our veterans, of which my husband and dad are both one. My dad served in the Korean War, and my husband in Desert Storm. So, today's a pretty special day. Day of remembrance. It should be coming to a boil any second. This process takes a little bit. But what I'm doing is I'm just going to bring it to a boil for 4 minutes and ladle it into my jars and put it in the canner. And then I'm going to be canning it for 10 minutes because this is a jam. Jellies, usually you can can for 5 minutes. Look, honestly, I do them all for 10 minutes. Just to be on the safer side. And make sure that your jars are sterilized. You want clean jars in a water bath canner, so you're not pressure canning it. You don't want bacteria to grow. Please be very careful with your jars, your equipment, everything that you use, because you're canning for your family and you're doing that for a reason. So you don't want anything to go wrong, and you don't want anyone to get sick. Okay, so oops. Okay, we're gonna stir this now for 4 minutes. I hope you guys can see that. Yeah, you can see it. Okay, it's rolling boil, so we're gonna stir this for 4 minutes, and then we're gonna ladle it into jars and put it in the canner. So I will show you probably a jar, and then I will stop the camera and show you when they're done, when I'm taking them out of the canner. So when you put them in the canner, I'm trying to get the water to boil. It's not quite boiling yet. I don't want to put them in with a boiling canner. I'll lower this a little bit. I've got a little bit of foam on here, so I can add a little bit of butter, more butter. That's why we add the butter. But I can't reach it. Let's see. Get it really quickly. A little bit more in there. Okay. Hopefully that will help the foam a little bit. I might have to skim off some of this foam just a little bit. What I do usually when I skim off the foam is I put it in a little jar, and that's the jam that we'll use right away for tasting, for making sure that it's coming out thick enough and setting. That's kind of my tester. So this is looking beautiful. And there's not really that much foam in there. Nice, it's nice and clear. It's a nice dark maroon color. It's beautiful. Just so pretty. We have 2 minutes left. Be patient when you're canning. Patience is key. Number one thing. You don't want to stress over canning, and you don't want to get distracted, like I was in my last video, because of the camera. You don't want to get distracted when you're canning. You want to do all the steps, and you want to do them correctly. Remember that you're feeding your family. If you make jams and jellies to sell at a farmer's market or something, you have other people's lives in your hands. So you have to be very, very careful. You cannot stress that enough. And once your jam or jelly is completely done and cooled, you want to remove your rings, just like anything else. Then if you give them away, put the ring back on and give it to the person you're giving it to, so that when they use it, they can store it, because obviously they're probably not going to go through a whole half pint of jelly in one sitting. I know when I make lemon curd, I know that my kids can sit there and eat a whole half pint of lemon curd, but I always give the rings. I always put the rings on the jar when I'm giving away jellies and jams, or anything else. The rings come off, and then the rings go back on. Okay, we have 40 seconds. Looks really, really good. This is real time, you guys. So please be patient. There we go. Okay, 18 seconds. Nice rolling oil. And we're done. Okay, turn that off. Most of the foam has dissipated now. It's all pretty much gone. So I'm going to turn this off and still stir just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to get a little jar. Okay, so I am going to skim off the foam as best I can. Let it cool down just a little bit. It's much easier to get all the foam off. Okay. So like I said, this foam is a good indicator of whether your jam or jelly is going to set. Very good indicator. And you can taste it to see what it tastes like. If you're making a couple batches, you can add more sugar if you don't think it's sweet enough, or you could add less sugar, whatever you guys think. It's all up to you when you're making your own jams and jellies. That's the beauty of canning. Okay, so I pretty much have all of the foam. There's very, very little foam on here. Very, very little. Okay, I am going to can one jar. This looks nice and thick. It looks like it's going to set really, really well. It's very thick. Very, very thick. Looks amazing. Okay, so next we want to can this. So we're gonna take it and put it in our jar. Just like that. And I have had this ladle for a very long time. I've learned that it takes about a ladle and a half to fill the jar, and you want a 1/2 inch headspace, just like that. And then you can put your funnel in the other jar. There you go. So I'm going to put the ring and the cap on here after I use my vinegar wipe on the rims, and I'm going to put them in the canner. So stay tuned for the last video when they come out of the canner, and I'll let you guys know how it tastes. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. That helps my channel grow, and it helps YouTube's algorithm to promote my videos out there. Please hit the like button and the bell. Don't forget the bell, because that's how you're notified when I upload more videos. And also leave a comment. Let me know you guys are here and what you think. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye.